All right, this is the adapter right here. So it is threaded on the inside. Okay, I've got two loops here, so you can use a shock cord, which I'll show you here. So here's one with a shock cord on it. You just loop it in here, do a knot, tie a loop on the other end. So basically that goes behind your housing, and it's for the extra security. So if you have a heavy lens on there, you don't want this thing to pop out. So this basically goes around, loops around this one, so it holds the actual adapter in. You shouldn't have. When I used it in Dominican, I didn't really have to use this because of these little thumb screws. Now the thumb screws you have to be really careful with, because it is a metal screw coming through, and you're going to screw it into a metal or a plastic dive housing. So what I would suggest you do, put something soft like a rubber piece, even like something like a foam or something like that, so you don't scratch the plastic housing when you screw it in. But it does, once you screw it in, make sure that you don't over tighten it, because if you over tighten, you're gonna crack that. You could damage your dive housing. So what I did was I just actually turned it to the point where I can't move it. You'll feel a little bit. It'll stop, and that's when that thing has come through and it's touching the. As long as it touches that plastic, this is not going to come out, because it's in there quite securely. So this is the lens I use. This is a 67mm ring. And actually, this is really neat. I like this lens because this actually comes off. So it's two-piece. So I can have this thing ready to go on here. So this is the thread, and it's threaded here. You just screw it in. It's pretty precise, so you have to make sure that you screw it in right. Like if it's off a little bit, you can feel it because it goes in really easy like this. See, it'll go in really easy. Screw it in until it's really tight. I like this because it's easier for me to screw this into this adapter than it is for me to screw it into the plastic, because you have to get it right precise because of the thread. So once I leave this on, and I take the lens off when I'm not diving, and this gets put in a nice soft cloth and protect the lens. So when I'm ready to use, I just put this in, screw that up, and I have tethers on my tray. So this is top and bottom. So once you put it through into the dive housing, you just screw this, tighten it a little bit, don't over tighten. Once you feel that kind of stop, then it's touching that plastic, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to screw it into the plastic, you just need to touch it. And you can test it by just kind of pulling at it. It will not budge if you got it in right. If it's budging, then tighten it a little bit, and then to the point where you can't even budge the adapter, and then you're all set to go. And then you can just do your photography, and it's all done. There you go. Hope that helps.